recording live here at the Craftery, and alright, this is the second episode, and as the first episode, I've already promised everyone listening that I'll be having an American.
That's the only thing I'm good for. I'm the token American.
Yeah, the token American. No, but it's not.
It's actually my name, Token.
It's
No.
really. Anyway, he's here in the podcast. Not because he's white. I mean, that's kind of racist. But, this is Rob. Rob.
Hi.
Okay, this is Rob Hamm. We have some questions with you for today, but first, before that, he is well known as a writer, a science fiction writer, a fiction writer, speculative fantasy.
Spec-fic, yeah.
Spec-fic.
Speculative fiction. Science fiction, fantasy, urban fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't know about well known, but I'll take that.
I'll take that. Yeah,
I'll take that. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, our sponsor for the day.
What is that?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Ming's Pup. I just know that these things are great for a sore throat. They're not actually sponsoring us. I'm just being good.
Yeah. So.
But the gin is sponsoring us. The gin is sponsoring
The
me.
gin is sponsoring you for this podcast. Anyway.
Sorry, I'm derailing already.
No.
I'm really bad at interviews.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I think that's the good part of this podcast.
Okay, all right.
So, for those people who live under a rock like me, who doesn't know speculative fantasy, could you describe that?
Speculative fiction
Speculative.
is yeah. Well, and we say speculative fiction because it you could say, well, all fiction is speculative because you're saying, what if? But
right.
Speculative fiction is basically, it kind of encompasses science fiction, fantasy, urban fantasy, magical realism, and then all the like little tiny subgenres that nobody except marketing executives know about.
Why is it that they're the only one who knows that? I mean,
well, they're the only ones who care. Do you really care if you're reading magical realism or urban fantasy?
well, as long as it's fun, but I
Exactly.
wouldn't.
Well, I mean, you don't care how it's. I mean, it's like, okay, there's classifications. There's like urban fantasy. You know, that's going to be probably in some kind of a modern or postmodern setting.
Oh yeah.
But as far as like the tiny little distinctions, I mean, I care as a writer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But as a reader.
Yeah, as a reader, most people are not gonna, split those hairs and it's like, well, I prefer.
Probably those readers who are, critics or
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I love readers like that, but I mean, I also love casual readers too.
Oh,
So
yeah. I mean, that's what reading is about, right? Like everyone has the chance to read.
Yeah,
Right?
and everybody getting their own take.
Yeah. So I'm looking at your website right now, and you can find his work at robhamm.com. That's ROBHAMM.com. So here we find 3 stories. I mean, no, I think the other one has no.
It doesn't have a thumbnail
It doesn't have a thumbnail.
because I'm lazy.
So yeah, there's this Sidekicks. It's about a humorous contemporary fantasy short story about a psychic, his best friend, and a kiddie pool full of diet soda.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Sidekicks is actually an anthology put out by Alliteration Inc. And Sarah Hans, the editor, basically, I was really honored because it was by invitation.
Oh.
And so I was just like, me? But this is Jen, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm blaming my behavior on the gin.
Well, but first, yeah, where can people find you? Like in Tumblr, you have a Tumblr blog. Yeah.
I do have a Tumblr. And robhamm.com links to my Tumblr. On Tumblr, I am An Experimental Life.
Well,
Yeah, An Experimental Life is the name of that, and people kind of know me as Uncle Rob.
Uncle Rob.
Over there. Well, dude, I'm old. I mean, in Tumblr years, I'm dead. I think the average demographic for Tumblr is like something like 13 through 24 or something like that. No, I think average is like 18 through 24 or something like that.
Yeah. It's kind of rare to see someone as old as you in Tumblr though.
Well, yeah, because I'm really 12 inside.
You're
Yeah, I'm a 12. I'm an adult.
kid at heart. Kid at
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah,
That's the term,
yeah.
right? That's the term.
That's actually a Fallout 3 perk too,
Fallout.
and nobody except Bethesda fans are gonna get that reference. But
Yeah, I mean gamers do it.
well, yeah, I mean, but Bethesda, Fallout 3.
Fallout
There's
3.
a perk you can take called Child at Heart
Oh,
that
no,
lets you
I
when you
didn't know
meet.
that.
Have you played Fallout 3?
Quite a bit.
Okay. Oh, dude, we're gonna bond later, man.
All right. So
I read mods too. We'll find you some of my mods and download them from the Nexus.
Also, I guess my assignment for no, it's okay. The next assignment for me is to download Fallout 3 and
Yes.
play. So yeah, we're here to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
We could put the links on the description for your.
Oh yeah, you were trying to
Tumblr.
tell about the stories, and I just like completely talked over you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, that's how interviews go. So here we are. I'm looking at it right now. So the first question here is, what is sci-fi? Or I mean, what inspired you to do sci-fi? I mean, I've been reading some biographies for quite some time, and I heard that Elon Musk likes comic books a lot when he was a kid, and that inspired him to create what he read as a child.
Yeah.
Right now. So is it something like that for you also?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I liked. I was sick a lot as a kid,
Wow.
so I loved superhero comics because they let me, step outside myself and be someone competent. Someone who wasn't sick all the time. And,
Yeah.
and the same with like science fiction books and fantasy books. Is they let me step outside my world.
Yeah.
And a boring little Midwestern U.S. world.
Yeah, so that's what it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was what got me into science fiction. As far as what got me into writing, I think we're going to talk about that later. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that in this next question, I'm not saying that sci-fi is harder than the other, but I want to hear that from you if it's true, like, is it true? Sometimes. Like,
Well, okay, because see, the thing is here, if you're just writing regular, like generic fiction or even literary fiction, and I'm not trying to slam literary fiction, but if you're writing like generic fiction of most genres, everybody knows what the world is like.
yeah.
You know what it's like to walk down the street here in Baguio.
Yeah.
Someone who lives and you've been to Manila, you know what it's like to walk down the street in Quezon City. I know what it's like to hang out in Brooklyn, in New York. We all know what that's like. We don't have to establish any of that. You're just like, okay, yeah, I'm in this place, and this is what's going on, and everybody knows exactly what's happening. But okay, now you take a world where you've got
Robots and stuff.
yeah, you take a world where you've got robots and sex bots, and well, looking at shows like Westworld and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's easier to do in a visual media, but especially in written media,
Oh yeah.
you got to find a way to tell people
that it's
where
a
they're
robot?
at, and what's going on, what's happening, and you want to do it without what we call an "as you know, Bob."
As you know, Bob.
Yeah, there's a thing, and I do want to emphasize here, though. I mean, he said well known. I'm not really well known,
But
I appreciate that. I'll take it. I just want to make this. Well, no, because I have friends who are actually well known authors, and they'll if they see this or hear this, they're gonna be like, dude. Seriously, man?
You're well known. Oh man.
Yeah.
To Rob's friends, please just don't diss him for
I never said I was well known.
I said that. So.
But
Well, I think
I've been known by people. There are people who know me well. Does that count? Yeah.
So we'll rephrase that. Known well.
Oh wait, I was trying to answer something and I got lost, didn't I?
I think I asked you about You answered it
Oh,
pretty
oh.
well, yeah.
Oh, but an as you know, Bob. To explain
Oh,
what
yeah,
an as
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Bob
yeah.
is like, okay, if there's something, when you're talking to your friend, if you're getting ready to grab a jeepney, you don't say, well, as you know, Bob, the jeepneys operate this way, and you get on the back and you pay about anywhere from 8 to 12 pesos to go to your destination. And they are painted bright colors, and you don't explain all that.
All right.
But
in
if
science
you're
fiction.
right, and so in science fiction, there was a tendency with a lot of the old hard science fiction where you'd literally have one character telling another because they wanted to find a way to tell the audience.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, Bob, the starship functions by.
That's why we can smoke cigarettes in here because of this science.
Exactly. And
exactly like Fallout 3.
All right. But yeah, and so you try to do it without that, and it can be really kind of like hard to get that exposition out there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm derailing things again. I'm really good at that.
Yeah, I mean
It's my secret skill.
You
should have heard us.
It's a talent.
You should have heard us over dinner, man. Over dinner, there were some gems we should have gotten on tape.
So, what would you like to say to inspiring writers as well? Those people who want.
I don't need the competition. No, seriously, some of the best things I ever did. First off, anybody who tells you nobody can teach you how to write is a liar. Nobody can teach you the passion for writing, but as far as the skills, that's a craft, man.
Yeah, so everyone can improve upon on it.
Yeah,
everyone can improve upon it. All
exactly. You can't. I can't teach you to want to write. I can't teach you to be passionate about it. But I can teach you that. Hey, dude, man, you got too many adjectives there. You know that, like we were talking about before. That's too many adjectives because I was describing. I have a lot of colorful adjectives to describe that fucking moldy orange Voldemort Cheeto looking motherfucking Nazi. Did I get all the right adjectives? Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
No,
yeah.
Well, I think the person deserves it.
No, I agree. Yes,
yeah.
anti-Trump solidarity. Yeah, fuck you, Trump, if you watch this. You're part of why I left the country, goddammit. But anyway.
I'm not part of this.
I can never go back now.
I can never go
I'm going to be on a list someplace as a dissident, I don't know. See, but then, okay, I was about to go off into politics, but
let's not get there.
We're staying with writing.
Writing.
If you edit out the Trump thing, I won't blame you. I understand.
No. I think it's part of the fun that it's included.
I don't want any Trump supporters as fans anyway. Honestly.
All right.
I would rather go broke than have Trump fans as supporters. Fuck those guys. But anyway.
Anyway, let's get back here.
Okay.
So okay. First of all, this is not in the transcript that I've written, but for me, I'm a blogger. I'm a blogger.
A blogger.
As the Australians said it. Well,
yeah, you're on Tumblr too, aren't you?
Yeah.
You have to give me your. We have to like become mutuals and stuff. You don't. Yeah, we don't follow each other yet. I don't think.
Yeah, we don't follow each other yet.
Okay, we should do that.
I kind of browse Tumblr, but I don't have an account yet. We'll get there.
You're on someone else's Tumblr. I was.
No, I'm browsing Tumblr, but not as a user.
Oh God! Yeah, we're gonna get you hooked up, buddy. Welcome to the cult. I mean club.
Club. All right. So as I'm a blogger, and I think a lot of people here who's going to be listening to this are bloggers as well. And do you have any suggestions like
how to make your blog more interesting?
Yeah, something like those.
I mean, different people have different
niches or stuff like that.
Yeah, different people have different strengths with their blogging. I mean, they're like some of my favorites, like Vampire Apologist or Glumshoe. Especially Glumshoe has all of these like great little slice of life. Yeah,
slice of life.
They take like sorry, I think it's they pronouns. That's Ship. I hope I'm getting your pronouns right. I apologize if I'm not. I think it's they or he. I'm not sure, but
but they have all these like fantastic little slice of life anecdotes, and that's what makes their blog great. But you'll have other people who have like lots of basically we call them shitposting blogs that are just these like little 1 or 2 line things that are just bizarre humor. I think the thing is to find something that you enjoy blogging about.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think usually it's an accident when people really get into it. Allie, I can't remember her last name. Allie, shit. Hyperbole and a half. Have you heard of hyperbole and a half?
I don't even know what that means, man.
Well, you know what hyperbole is. Oh, exaggeration.
Oh, an exaggeration.
So it's hyperbole and a half. Yeah.
I mean, you pronounce it in a Western way.
Oh, how do you pronounce it here?
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
I don't know.
Hyperbole?
Hyperbole. I don't know.
Okay.
You said it hyperbole, and here.
Yeah, that's what we say it in America.
Yeah, and
it's
here
hyperbole.
it's like hyperbole.
Okay. I'm
That's
sorry.
why I didn't get it the first time. So I'm so sorry about that.
Well,
There's a culture barrier up in here.
Yeah, let me tell you, his English is a hell of a lot better than my Tagalog or my. You see, I don't even say Tagalog right. So, I think I said Tagalog, didn't I?
Tagalog. We are going to try to speak Tagalog today.
Are you from California?
Magandang araw.
Magandang araw. That's not the way to...
Well, that's the point.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
But if you said that to a stranger, I guess they'll just run away.
Yeah. Oh man, can I derail just for a moment? We can edit this out, right?
Yeah.
I actually paid 8,000 fucking pesos for this online course in Tagalog that is teaching me nothing useful.
Yeah.
It's all stuff like kumakain ang batang lalaki.
What the
What? Who talks like that? Do you know anyone who talks like that?
No.
Yeah.
Probably a robot. A robot.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably a bot made by a Filipino. You know.
Tubadak to
It's like
ang mga mansalas. I don't know how apples can run, but you know.
Well, I think if they made a Siri Filipino version, that's it.
Yeah. It's like a joke. I mean, it's like, hey, you know what? I'm sure Rosetta Stone is really good for some languages, but don't do the Tagalog course.
Hey Juan, can you tell me the direction? Punta ka sa kanan. What the fuck? Anyway.
No, man, it's like, well, my joke is, and this is actually going to be in one of the Alex and stories. If you go to my site, you'll see a link to an excerpt of an Alex and story, Alex and the Oracle. But I'm actually going to put this in there. That what were we talking about?
Yeah. It's about blogging.
Yeah.
It's about blogging.
With me, I think it is, and I'm not like a big time. I've got a few thousand followers on there. I'm not like, well, thank you. And by the way, can I say, my followers, I love you guys. You're honestly, no, seriously, man. You guys are awesome. And I get a lot of asks from you guys and a lot of messages and stuff, and I don't always respond in a timely manner, I know, and I apologize. But I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate all your kind words and your encouragement. But yeah, I mean, with mine, it's a lot of it. With mine is I think who I am as a person, just because I'm pretty open about who I am. I'm a 55-year-old guy who was raised very conservative and used to be kind of, shall we say, less than enlightened. And I had some pretty fucked up attitudes and behaviors, and I really did. And I mean really, I mean things I don't even want to talk about.
Yeah,
that I believed and did and believed. And part of what has gone on with my blog has been my journey as an older guy, learning to come to grips with that and to become a better person.
Oh, all right.
And to be honest about that, you know, being honest about my failings and how I have failed and how I'm trying to make myself better. Mm-hmm. And I'm very open about being autistic and being mentally ill. No, that's not a joke.
That's not a joke.
That's not a joke. No, I'm autistic.
Autistic, all right. I mean, you mentioned a while ago
But,
about
yeah.
failures. So have you had any failures in writing?
Um,
Well,
well, I would say that anytime you get a rejection, it's going to feel like a failure.
mm,
But what you have to remember is just because your story got rejected does it might mean it. I'll tell you, man, it might mean it wasn't good enough, but it doesn't always mean that.
all right.
I mean, the first thing, I mean, one thing is, I mean, learn the craft. And I would, going back to an earlier question, I recommend anybody, there's a series of books by Writer's Digest.
Readers.
No,
Digest.
Writers.
Writers Digest.
Writer's Digest has a series of books on writing that each cover one aspect. So you pick an aspect you're having trouble with, like there's a book just about narration. And what those do is they let you know what other writers have tried in the past and what worked for them and what didn't, and you know what helped them get this effect and that effect and stuff like that. So I mean, first off, make sure you're working on your craft, learning your craft, and being good enough. But the thing is, even if your story gets rejected, it doesn't mean it wasn't good enough. It means it wasn't what the editor was looking for at the time. Because can I name drop here? For
Yeah, yeah, sure.
If you don't know who Kish Johnson is, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
That's
Kish Johnson. Pick up, you know what, pick up The Foxwoman, Fudoki, Tales for the Long Reigns. Tales for the Long Reigns is a collection of short stories. Pick up, she did a Star Trek tie-in novel. Like Paramount, whoever owns the shit, asked her to do it. So, I mean, they don't just ask anybody to do that. Dragon's Honor, read that. Just look for Kish Johnson, alright? Look for her short story online, 23 Monkeys and also The Abyss. Okay, sorry, I'm done promoting. Now that I've done promoting, something that she explained to me once, because she kind of was my first mentor in writing, and is probably terribly disappointed in me now. I'm sorry, Kish. I love you. You're a lovely person, and you're also gorgeous. But and thank you for introducing me to good tequila too. But this is good gin. But no, as she told me once, what you have to remember about an editor is it's not an editor's job to find the next great writer. You know what an editor's job is? An editor's job is to get through that fucking pile of fucking manuscripts on her fucking desk before the fucking bars close for the night. So you give an editor an excuse to reject your manuscript, they will. Don't give them an excuse.
All right, that's
Make your
good
writing
advice.
strong. You know, I mean, and it sounds like really amorphous. How do I win the game? Score more points.
Score more points.
But I mean, pay attention, you know, focus on developing your craft so that the editor isn't going to look at it and see rookie mistakes in your first line.
All right. Oh yeah. So it kind of throw off the editor at first line if you already have a mistake, and especially
'cause, I
if
mean,
it's
if
already
you've
a rookie mistake.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a stack of manuscripts on your desk,
Yeah.
and you know you have to get through all these before you leave for the day, then the first thing you run into on a manuscript, man, boom, it's gone. That's a rejection.
That's a rejection. The
So-
editor didn't even finish the manuscript, and then like,
Yeah.
Just
You
skimmed
read,
it.
you read until you're like,
this is shit.
no, yeah, yeah. Or like I said, you know, it could just be this is not what we're looking for.
Yeah. It doesn't
Yeah,
always
it could be
mean.
it could be the
failure
greatest
or-
story in the world, but if that's not what they need at the time, you know, if you're writing a story about, I don't know, puppy zombies from Mars or whatever,
That's so
and
crazy.
the editor just got 7 puppy zombie from Mars stories, you know, because somehow that has become a big thing now.
Then they're gonna
The
prioritize.
odds are
that.
against you.
They're
They're gonna look for the best one. They're not gonna want to. They can't take everyone. I'm sorry. I'm derailing again.
No,
Let's
it's
go.
okay. I mean, you're expanding the point, which is nice. I mean, for everyone listening out there that is being, aspiring to be a writer, well, what you just said is basically what they're gonna expect in the future, right?
Yeah. Just, I mean, but that's what's so important about studying the craft. And it's what's so important about, I think it's good to read books about writing that are written by writers and editors because they know what they've experienced. You know, they know what they've experienced. The editors know what they've seen, what they liked and didn't like. The writers know what stories they've had rejected, and they know why they were rejected.
So it's good. So probably, do you have a book that you can recommend that probably sums up all the stories that failed? You know,
All the stories that failed?
not the story that succeeded. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of rare to see books that.
You're asking me to
failed.
recommend the worst book I can think of?
Probably,
Or-
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
You know, I really can't. Oh, well, I mean, if you want to read some really bad writing, the Twilight books are really shitty.
The Twilight books are really.
I know my favorite niece, Sam. I love you, Sam. I know you loved those books, but sweetheart, expand your horizons. Please. Just
Well,
bad writing.
That's bad writing. Alright, so Twilight is bad.
Twilight is horrible.
Rob 2018, everyone. Let's quote that one. Let's quote that. Oh yeah, so
Stephanie Myers couldn't write her way out of a wet paper bag. You know what? And she's made a lot more money than I have, obviously. But
it doesn't. The money doesn't speak if it's great.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I enjoy listening to the Spice Girls. I do. I like the Spice Girls. I mean, and Scary Spice is, oh my god, that one. Yeah, but I like listening to them. Okay, I'm not a huge fan. I'm just
Yeah.
trying. I'm just looking for an example. But okay. Oh, a better example. A band I really like, The Replacements. The Replacements, possibly one of my favorite bands of all time. But just brilliant. They probably sold more records than Mozart, but as much as I love The Replacements, I wouldn't. Paul Westerberg is probably not more talented than Mozart. So you know, it's like,
yeah. So
they
the
made more money.
comparison
After,
is
yeah. Just
the money doesn't speak for how the great the
yeah.
craft is.
Now Stephen King happens to be both. I
To
mean,
be
a
both,
great writer and
yeah. Sold like millions of books. Yeah.
yeah.
So let's have a short break and
Okay.
let's thank our sponsors. I couldn't think of any sponsors.
Wait, what is it? Ming's Hey Paco Candy. And what's the name of this gin again?
I don't know. I didn't see the.
I don't
bottle.
remember.
I didn't see the. bottle.
Okay.
Um,
It's Filipino gin, and it's. I have been assured that it is extra premium. So.
So anyway, this will be posted on Spotify and also YouTube. You can find us on YouTube, and this will be posted in Nine Baguio Facebook page. So this is the first podcast created ever here in Baguio. This is podcast for the cool ass, and when I say cool ass, I literally mean having a cold ass because it's so cold up in here that makes your cold ass cold and bold at the same time. Yeah. So for our sponsors, Nine Baguio, and check us out on YouTube, and we're back on. What am I gonna ask you this time? So,
What are you gonna ask?
so,
Let's see.
so I want to ask you this: is there a certain time in your life where writing has saved you?
Yes.
Definitely, but
Definitely.
let's expand on that. How so?
Okay, this one winter, I had really terrible bronchitis. And this is one reason I will always be grateful to Daily Science Fiction. And it's a site, dailysciencefiction.com. Go there, you subscribe, and they will send you a science fiction or fantasy short story in your email, 5 days a week.
Oh, all right.
I mean, it's flash fiction or shorts. But anyway, they bought the second story I ever sold. Which, can I name drop again?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
But yeah, if you go to Daily Science Fiction and read my story, are you there? Are you safe? Are the flock safe? Or is the flock safe? I got my own title wrong. You'll find it. Look up Daily Science Fiction flock. You'll find it.
Rob Hamm.
Yeah, but D. Robert Hamm is the
D.
pretentious
Robert.
writer name. I guess. My first initial D. Robert Hamm.
Robert.
But yeah, I kind of picked. I wanted to. I don't know, stand out. But yeah, Cat Rambo said it made her cry.
Cat Rambo said it.
Cat Rambo. I don't know if you know, but like very well respected science fiction short story author. And I mean, okay, now people like my friend Kish and my friend Lane, and I've got several, writing friends who have said really nice things and encouraging things about my writer. But I don't know Kat. I've never met her. So to have
A stranger.
yeah,
A well-known.
right, a well-known stranger. I mean, believe me, it's great when Kish says something good about my writing. But at the same time, she's my friend.
All right.
So she's not gonna bust my balls. Actually, she will. She will tell me, Rob. Rob, that chapter sucks. You need to lose that chapter. She
would do that. But I mean, it's like, your friends are gonna tend to try to be nicer to you. And
say it.
I never met Kat, but she just wrote one line about the story on Facebook. She just said, "This story made me cry. Well done." And I was just like, and whenever I get like discouraged about it or anything like that, you get that little voice in the back of your head that's like, you're not good enough to do this.
All right.
And whenever that little voice goes off, I turn to that little voice and I say, yeah, fuck you. I wrote a story that made Cat Rambo cry. What the fuck have you done? That's what I thought.
You're fighting
I may have another
yourself.
disorder besides the...
You're a split personality.
Yeah, I should be getting there. And we're not trying to make fun of DID. I'm sorry. That was perhaps very insensitive, and I apologize if that came across.
Yeah.
Especially as a mentally ill guy myself, I hope that didn't come across as ableist. But
yeah. So you mentioned having friends, being nice.
Yeah. But you were asking me when a story saved my life.
Yeah. That's it. Okay. Let's go.
They bought that, and I had a really bad case of bronchitis that winter, and they paid me. I sold that story, the bird story, to them for $60 or $67, something like that, which was almost exactly how much I needed to get this prescription of antibiotics at the time, because I was broke and I was sick and I was living in a drafty apartment with 3 parrots.
3 parrots.
And I thought, at that time, I think it was 3 parrots and 4 parakeets. But anyway, birds, me in a drafty apartment, and me having bronchitis hacking my lungs up and getting harder and harder to breathe every day. I didn't have enough money to get my prescription. And the day after the doctor wrote the prescription, when I was sitting there looking at it, thinking, being depressed, thinking, I can't afford to get this filled, boom! Daily Science Fiction came through and paid me for that story. And it's like, Daily Science Fiction... Guys, I don't remember your names. I think one of you is named Michelle.
Well,
but I in my own way, I love you forever. You literally saved my life that winter. So
I'm sure they have someone there working as Michael.
I think there's a Michael and a Michelle there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
So we got 2 names now.
Yeah.
which is Michael, the most common name in America.
If I go through, well, I think it's like 2 of them is the main. I mean, I don't know their like inner workings and stuff, but they're a cool site though. You sign up for
Science Fiction.
Yeah, sign up for them. And if you're a writer, I don't need the competition. No. If you're a writer, they pay very good rates, and they are a SIPWA site, Science Fiction Writers of America. They will count toward your selling a story to DSF. Does count toward, I believe, counts toward your Science Fiction Writers of America membership. So
yeah, you mentioned friends a while ago. So surely there are writers out there who can't get their craft improved.
I'm out of gin.
You're out of gin. Oh my God.
I'll live.
You live. So they have
writers who can't get their rating improved.
Yeah, because they can't get enough critical. How do you say this? Their friends don't critique their work as much as they wanted to. Yeah, I mean everyone's being nice. Everyone says, good job, and then probably then they send this manuscript to an editor and burn it because it hurts the editor's eyes.
See, whereas my friends are like especially my friend Eric King. Eric, hi man. We call him the story doctor.
The story doctor.
He has been known to tell me, Rob, I love you, man, but you need to delete the first 3 paragraphs of this because they suck. That's just bullshit, man. You need to get rid of all that. But he also helped my friend Lane Robbins wrote Maledicte, which is critically acclaimed when she was writing the sequel, Kings and Assassins. She was having so much trouble with it, and she was like 30,000 words in, and Eric was reading it, and he says, You're telling this from the wrong POV. You got the complete wrong POV character.
So-
and she was like,
So
and she started all the way over and ended up with another critically acclaimed novel. Eric, buddy, I hope you're out there. I hope you're still writing, because dude, you're brilliant at fixing other people's stories. I can't wait to see what the fuck you produce when you really do it. But anyway,
So yeah, Eric, I don't know you.
Eric King.
Eric King. All
yeah.
right. So is there some kind of most like brilliant people have this fucking tradition before they go to work. Like for me, I watch something. Probably my bosses probably watch some motivational video before they start to go to work. So do you have something like that? Like
Powerpuff Girls. No, I'm not.
do you have something like something you watch or something you do before you go to actual
Coffee.
Coffee. It's only one
Coffee,
word.
coffee, and occasionally I use the Hemingway method. No, I don't. The Hemingway method. Hemingway used to say, "What is it? Write drunk, edit sober." But no, I mean, really,
just go out there and write.
yeah. I mean, what I try to do. What I try to do is, and I don't always succeed, and this was a habit my friend Lane has tried over the years to instill in. Lane Robbins, look her up. She also writes under the name of Lynn Benedict. But something she's tried to instill. I like pimping my friends' work, man, because they're brilliant, and I know I shouldn't say this, but they're better writers than I am. And you should read them.
And
you read me too, but
I thought you forgot yourself for a second there.
no, but what a habit she's tried to instill in me is when I get up in the morning, go to the computer before I do anything, before I answer email, before I open a web page, just open a document, write 200 words. It can be any 200 words. Hopefully they're good words, and hopefully it's on a current project. But even if they're not, if it can just be sitting there writing, I have no fucking clue what to write. What the fuck is this shit? Lane, why did you tell me I should do this? I am so upset with you right now. No, I'm not really, because you're my friend and I love you. But anyway, yeah, what?
As long
It
as
could
it's
be
200
anything.
words.
Because the idea is get into the habit of doing it. And then once you're in the habit, I mean, sometimes, especially if you're actually working on a project, once you get on a roll, once you get those 200 words, a lot of times you'll find out you're on a roll.
Yeah, and then you probably wrote something best
Or,
novel.
I mean, and then you'll like keep going after that. You set yourself that bar. It could be 200 words. It could be 100 words. It could be my friend Aaron Rosenberg sits down and I think he writes like 5, 10. This guy finishes a novel in 3 months.
Oh my god.
He's a fucking machine.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, what goes on inside that mind?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right. I want to be Aaron when I grow up. But
You grow up.
yeah, look up Aaron Rosenberg, guys. This guy is fantastic. As another one of my friends who's a better writer than I am.
So you don't have any.
But-
So that's the best ritual is to write 200 words or
Or
as long
yeah,
as
I mean,
you-
set yourself a goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the first thing you do, and it's not gonna. And I'll tell you right now, it's not gonna happen every day. I don't do it every day. I try to. It's a habit to try to develop. But I mean, I think other writers probably have other rituals. So I mean, that's the one that has been most helpful to
Yeah.
me is to just set myself that goal. They can be 200 shitty words, but I'm writing.
Yeah, some drink before they write.
Yeah. Well, Hemingway,
Anyway, yeah.
famous for drunk writing,
For drunk writing.
and sometimes you can tell.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe was actually maligned. He actually wasn't an alcoholic. What happened with him was the guy who ended up in control kind of his legacy hated him.
Also, he wrote that.
Yeah, so he made it sound like he was this alcoholic, drug addict, incestuous, blah, 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 blah. When Asheville was like, no, he was just kind of this guy.
Yeah, this nice guy.
But this guy who really did not like him got control over all this stuff after his
biography
death.
shit, and then
Yeah.
and then wrote terrible
And he
things.
was a fucker. Yep.
And he was a fucker.
And he was a fucker.
So yeah, I think you would you like to have some closing remarks before we end this podcast? I think we've covered enough writing, right?
Yeah. Fuck Trump.
Is that the point? What?
Can we keep that? Okay.
Yeah.
If you have to edit that out, that's
No,
okay.
it's okay. I'll keep it on.
But also, really, I mean, real talk, man. If you think you're going to go into writing and get rich off of it, that's not the field for you. It really isn't. There are a few people who do it. Most people I know, most even like critically acclaimed best-selling authors I know, still have to have a day job. So don't go into it and think you're going into it for the money.
Yeah. So well said. I mean, people write because they love to write.
Yeah, you have to be in it for the passion, man.
Yeah.
You have to have something to say and want to say it. And that's the only reason for writing. The reason you want to get paid for writing is so you can spend more time writing and less time doing other stuff. But yeah.
All right, thank you for that, and that's the end of Curious Spud podcast, the podcast for the cool ass. And when I say cool ass, we all know what it means.
Yeah.
Having a cold ass because it's so freaking cold here in Baguio.
You've never been in a Kansas winter, buddy.
Yeah, so I think it will be much colder.
We're gonna go to Kansas and introduce you to snow. You're gonna come back to Baguio and be like, oh, this is nice. I'm taking my shirt off.
It's going to be makes your ass colder and bolder. So that's the end of our podcast. Thank you for listening, and subscribe to this channel. Like us on Facebook page. Anything that you can find Rob on the links I'll put in the description. So be sure to check the stories out, and also don't forget to leave a like on most of his work and in Tumblr. Right.
And if you send all your money on to Erwin, absolutely nothing will happen, but he'll be very happy.
Yeah. Don't forget to send money.
Yeah. I'm trying to help you, man. I'm trying to help you.
I'm just kidding.
You're my friend.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for helping out. And yeah, this is goodbye. Say bye-bye.
Bye.